Ladies and gentlemen, we often hear about love as a fairy tale, a magical feeling that sweeps us off our feet. But a woman in love knows something deeper, something more profound. Love is not just an emotion, it's a choice, a commitment, an act of courage. A woman in love wakes up every day and chooses to love, even when it's inconvenient, even when the butterflies settle and life gets messy. She doesn't just say, "I love you," she shows it through patience, through understanding, through showing up when it matters most. She knows that real love is not about grand gestures or perfect moments. It's about the small, quiet sacrifices. The time she listens when she's tired. The time she forgives when it's easier to walk away. The time she fights for what matters even when it's hard. But make no mistake, love is not weakness. A woman in love is not afraid to challenge. She pushes the one she loves to be better, to grow, to step into their fullest potential. Because real love is not just about comfort, it's about transformation. Love is often described as a magical feeling, an overwhelming rush of emotions that sweeps us off our feet. We see it in movies, hear about it in songs, and read about it in novels. This grand, passionate, all-consuming force. But in reality, love is not just a feeling. It is far more than fleeting emotions that come and go with the highs and lows of life. Love is a choice, a commitment, and a series of actions that must be nurtured and sustained. A woman in love understands that true love is not simply about the excitement of the moment, but about showing up every single day, even when the initial spark begins to fade. Feelings are temporary. They fluctuate based on circumstances, moods, and external factors. One day, love can feel exhilarating, effortless, and joyful. The next, it may seem challenging, exhausting, and frustrating. If love were only about emotions, relationships would crumble at the first sign of difficulty. But love is about something deeper, a conscious decision to remain steadfast, to stay when things are difficult, and to continue giving, even when it is not easy. A woman in love does not rely solely on how she feels in a particular moment. She understands that love is built over time, through patience, resilience, and unwavering dedication. Love is about commitment, not convenience. It is easy to love when everything is going well, when laughter comes easily, when the connection feels strong, when there are no conflicts or disappointments. But true love is tested in the moments of struggle, when patience is worn thin, when differences arise, and when the world feels heavy. A woman in love does not walk away when things get hard. She does not give up when the fairy tale fades into reality. Instead, she chooses to stay, to communicate, to work through the challenges, and to strengthen the bond that she has built. A deep and lasting love requires effort. It is not something that simply exists. It is something that must be nurtured, protected, and actively maintained. Just as a garden needs water, sunlight, and care to thrive, love needs attention, time, and energy. A woman in love invests in her relationship. She makes time for meaningful conversations, expresses gratitude, and finds ways to show love, even in the smallest gestures. She understands that love is not just about grand declarations, but about the everyday moments, the check-in texts, the reassuring hugs, the quiet understanding, and the ability to listen without judgment. More than anything, love is a partnership. It is about choosing to stand beside someone, not just when it is easy, but through the storms and uncertainties of life. A woman in love does not expect perfection, nor does she love only under perfect conditions. She loves despite the imperfections, understanding that real love is about embracing another person fully, their strengths, their flaws, their dreams, and their fears. She knows that commitment means growing together, adapting to change, and continuously choosing to build a future together rather than seeking an escape at the first sign of discomfort. Love is also about sacrifice, not in the sense of losing oneself, but in the willingness to put effort into the relationship even when it is inconvenient. It means compromising, being patient, and sometimes putting the needs of the relationship above personal desires. A woman in love does not see love as a transaction where she only gives when she gets something in return. Instead, she understands that love flourishes when it is selfless, when it is given freely without expectation, and when it is rooted in genuine care and connection. Ultimately, love is not measured by words alone, but by consistent actions. It is not defined by the intensity of feelings in a single moment, but by the choices made every day to nurture, support, and protect the bond shared. A woman in love does not just feel love, she demonstrates it through commitment, patience, and the willingness to keep choosing love again and again, no matter the circumstances. We often think of strength as being tough, unshakable, and immune to pain. Society teaches us that to be strong means to never show weakness, to hold back emotions, and to put up walls that protect us from getting hurt. But true strength is not about hiding our vulnerabilities. It is about embracing them. It takes courage to be open, to be honest about our fears, and to allow others to see us as we truly are. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is one of the greatest forms of strength a person can have. To be vulnerable means to be real, to remove the mask that so many of us wear in an attempt to appear perfect. It means admitting that we do not have all the answers, that we sometimes struggle, and that we need support. There is immense power in allowing ourselves to be seen in our entirety, our joys, our fears, our hopes, and our disappointments. It is in these moments of openness that we truly connect with others. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we give others permission to do the same, creating relationships built on authenticity and trust. Strength is not about pretending that we are unaffected by life's hardships. It is about facing them head on, acknowledging our pain, and allowing ourselves to process our emotions. When we suppress our struggles, they do not disappear. They build up inside us, creating stress, anxiety, and emotional distance from those around us. But when we embrace vulnerability, we allow healing to begin. We give ourselves the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to emerge stronger than before. Many people fear vulnerability because they associate it with rejection or judgment. They worry that if they show their true selves, they will be seen as weak or unworthy. But the reality is quite the opposite. When we are vulnerable, we invite deeper, more meaningful connections into our lives. People are drawn to authenticity. They relate to imperfection far more than they relate to an image of flawlessness. By showing our true selves, we create space for genuine relationships to flourish, ones that are based not on appearances, but on understanding and mutual support. Vulnerability also plays a crucial role in personal growth. It takes courage to step outside of our comfort zones, to admit when we are wrong, and to face the unknown. Growth does not happen in the absence of discomfort, it happens because of it. When we are willing to take risks, to try new things, and to open ourselves up to failure, we discover our true potential. Every success story is built on moments of vulnerability, on times when someone dared to believe in themselves despite uncertainty. One of the most powerful aspects of vulnerability is its ability to foster resilience. Life will always bring challenges, but it is how we respond to them that defines our strength. Those who embrace vulnerability do not shy away from hardship. They confront it with honesty and courage. They understand that it is okay to ask for help, to lean on others, and to admit when they need support. They recognize that strength is not about handling everything alone, but about building a network of people who uplift and encourage each other through difficult times. In leadership, vulnerability is often the difference between an inspiring leader and an unapproachable one. Leaders who admit their mistakes, share their struggles, and listen with empathy earn the respect and trust of those around them. They create environments where people feel safe to express their ideas, take risks, and grow without fear of failure. True leadership is not about pretending to have all the answers. It is about being open, adaptable, and willing to learn. Ultimately, vulnerability is the key to living a more meaningful and fulfilling life. It allows us to love deeply, to pursue our dreams without fear, and to connect with others in a way that brings true joy and belonging. It reminds us that we are human, that we are all imperfect, and that our imperfections are not something to hide, but something to embrace. Strength is not in the absence of vulnerability. It is in the courage to show up, to be seen, and to live wholeheartedly. Love is often misunderstood as a simple exchange, one where we give only when we receive, where our affection is measured in equal returns, and where the value of our love depends on what we get in return. But true love is not a transaction. It is not about keeping score, making calculated moves, or expecting an immediate payoff. Love is an investment, one that requires patience, effort, and unwavering commitment. It is a long-term journey of growth, trust, and deep connection, not a quick exchange of affection and rewards. An investment requires time, dedication, and belief in its future value. The same is true for love. Real love does not happen instantly. It is built over time through shared experiences, trust, and mutual understanding. Just like a financial investment, love requires nurturing. You must put in effort consistently, even when there are no immediate visible returns. Relationships flourish when both partners are willing to invest in each other, not for personal gain, but because they genuinely care about the well-being and happiness of the other person. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is treating love like a transaction. They give affection with the expectation of receiving the same in return. They measure their efforts, ensuring that they never give more than what they receive. But love does not thrive in an environment of calculation and conditional giving. When love is treated as a transaction, it becomes fragile, dependent on constant validation, and easily shaken when expectations are not met. Investing in love means showing up even when things are difficult. It means being there for your partner, not just when they are at their best, but also when they are struggling. It means offering support without expecting something in return. Love requires selflessness, the willingness to give without keeping track. The strongest relationships are built on this kind of commitment, where both people invest in each other's happiness and well-being because they genuinely care, not because they are waiting for an equal or greater return. Love also requires emotional resilience. Just like investments face ups and downs, relationships go through challenges. There will be disagreements, disappointments, and hardships. But those who see love as an investment understand that these struggles are part of the process. They do not walk away at the first sign of trouble. Instead, they work through difficulties, knowing that the effort they put in today strengthens the foundation for the future. Love is not about instant gratification. It is about the long-term fulfillment that comes from building something meaningful together. Another key aspect of investing in love is trust. Trust, once broken, is difficult to rebuild. It takes time, patience, and consistent actions to prove one's reliability and commitment. A transactional mindset where one person only gives trust when they receive it creates an unstable foundation. But an investment mindset fosters deep trust, where both partners make a conscious choice to believe in and support each other. Furthermore, love as an investment extends beyond romantic relationships. It applies to friendships, family, and even self-love. Genuine connections require effort, honesty, and time. When we invest in our relationships, we create bonds that withstand the test of time. And just as we must invest in others, we must also invest in ourselves, nurturing our own growth, self-worth, and emotional well-being. At its core, love is not about what we can gain. It is about what we are willing to give. It is about understanding that the most valuable things in life do not come from taking, but from nurturing, supporting, and believing in something greater than ourselves. When we see love as an investment, we shift our focus from short-term satisfaction to long-term fulfillment. We build relationships that are strong, resilient, and deeply meaningful. Love is not a deal to be negotiated. It is a journey to be embraced, an investment that, when nurtured with care and dedication, yields the most priceless returns. Real love is often portrayed as a source of comfort, a warm and safe space where we find peace, validation, and unwavering support. While love does provide security and joy, it is not meant to exist solely for comfort. True love challenges us, pushes us to grow, and forces us to confront parts of ourselves that we might otherwise ignore. It is not just about feeling good, it is about becoming better. One of the greatest misconceptions about love is that it should always be easy. Many people believe that if love is real, it should be effortless, free from struggle or discomfort. But in reality, the strongest and most meaningful relationships are the ones that challenge us. Love exposes our weaknesses, makes us vulnerable, and demands that we face the truth about ourselves. It pushes us out of our comfort zones, urging us to evolve into the best versions of ourselves. A relationship that never challenges you is one that is not helping you grow. True love forces us to reflect on our flaws, our fears, and our insecurities. It shows us where we need to improve, whether in how we communicate, how we handle conflict, or how we show up for our partner. Growth is uncomfortable, and love often serves as the mirror that reveals areas where we need to change. Sometimes love means having difficult conversations, setting boundaries, or making sacrifices. Not because it is easy, but because it is necessary for long-term happiness. Love also challenges us by teaching us patience and resilience. Every relationship faces difficulties, misunderstandings, disappointments, and moments of frustration. Real love is not about avoiding these challenges. It is about facing them together. It is about choosing to stay and work through problems instead of walking away when things get tough. A relationship that is only based on comfort and ease will fall apart at the first sign of hardship. But a love that embraces challenges becomes stronger with every obstacle it overcomes. Another way love challenges us is by holding us accountable. A true partner does not just tell us what we want to hear, they tell us what we need to hear. They encourage us to pursue our dreams, to take risks, and to push past our limitations. They remind us of our potential and do not allow us to settle for less than we deserve. Sometimes love requires tough love. Honest conversations that may be difficult in the moment but are essential for personal and relational growth. Love also challenges our ability to be selfless. It teaches us that a relationship is not just about our own needs, but also about the needs of our partner. It forces us to practice empathy, to listen more than we speak, and to consider someone else's perspective. Real love requires sacrifice, not in a way that diminishes who we are, but in a way that strengthens the bond between two people. It is about learning to compromise, to put ego aside, and to work as a team. Furthermore, love challenges us to be brave. It takes courage to fully open up to another person, to trust them with our deepest thoughts and emotions. Love requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is not easy. It means risking hurt, rejection, or disappointment. But without vulnerability, true intimacy cannot exist. Love challenges us to tear down emotional walls and let someone truly see us, flaws and all. Ultimately, love is not meant to be a shelter from life's difficulties. It is meant to be a force that helps us face them. It is not just about providing comfort, but about pushing us toward growth. A love that never challenges us will eventually become stagnant, but a love that encourages change and self-improvement will continue to evolve and deepen over time. True love is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It is not just about making life more comfortable, it is about making life more meaningful. Love is often romanticized as a final destination, a place where two people arrive and live happily ever after. Movies, books, and fairy tales paint a picture of love as an ultimate goal, something to be achieved and then enjoyed without further effort. But real love does not work that way. It is not a static point in time or a finish line to be crossed. Love is a shared journey, one that evolves, changes, and grows over time. It is not about reaching a perfect state, but about continuously choosing each other through all of life's ups and downs. The idea that love is a journey rather than a destination means understanding that love requires ongoing effort. Relationships do not remain strong simply because two people are in love. They remain strong because those two people consistently nurture and invest in their connection. Just as a journey involves new experiences, challenges, and changes, love requires adaptation, learning, and resilience. It is not something that stays the same, it deepens and transforms as time passes. A shared journey means embracing both the joys and difficulties of life together. There will be moments of deep happiness, shared laughter, exciting adventures, and beautiful memories. But there will also be moments of struggle, disagreements, hardships, and personal growth that might not always align at the same pace. A couple committed to the journey of love understands that difficult times do not mean the end of love. Instead, they see these moments as opportunities to grow closer, to understand each other better, and to strengthen their bond. One of the most important aspects of viewing love as a journey is recognizing that both individuals in the relationship are growing and evolving. Who we are today is not who we will be in 5, 10, or 20 years. Love is not about holding on to a fixed idea of a person or a relationship, but about growing together through life's inevitable changes. The strongest relationships are those in which both partners allow each other the space to develop while remaining committed to walking the journey side by side. Communication is essential in this journey. Just as travelers must check their maps and adjust their routes, couples must continually communicate to ensure they are still aligned in their goals, values, and desires. Assumptions can lead to distance, but open conversations foster connection. A shared journey means being honest about feelings, fears, and aspirations. It means listening with an open heart and being willing to adapt when needed. Love as a journey also teaches patience. Unlike the idea of love as a destination where everything is expected to fall into place perfectly, the journey acknowledges that mistakes will be made. There will be missteps, misunderstandings, and difficult times. But in a shared journey, these are not reasons to give up. They are simply part of the path. Love requires the patience to work through difficulties, the willingness to forgive, and the commitment to keep moving forward together. Additionally, the journey of love is not just about the couple. It includes the experiences, challenges, and people they encounter along the way. Friends, family, careers, and personal passions all play roles in shaping the relationship. A healthy love does not demand that two people isolate themselves from the world. Instead, it allows them to grow both as individuals and as a couple, embracing the influences that make them stronger. Perhaps the most beautiful part of viewing love as a journey is that it has no final destination. There is no moment where love is complete. Instead, love continues to unfold, bringing new lessons, new challenges, and new joys. The journey itself is what makes love meaningful. It is about waking up each day and choosing to walk the path together, no matter what it brings. Love is not about reaching a place where everything is perfect. It is about moving forward hand in hand through all of life's uncertainties. It is about celebrating the small moments, navigating the difficulties, and embracing the adventure of growing together. When we stop seeing love as a final achievement and start embracing it as a continuous journey, we open ourselves to a deeper, richer, and more fulfilling experience of love. Love is often portrayed as an intense, passionate force, an overwhelming emotion that consumes us and makes everything feel magical. While passion plays a role in love, it is not enough to sustain it. Real love requires something far greater: courage. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to commit, to work through challenges, and to choose love every single day, even when the initial spark fades. Passion may ignite love, but it is courage that keeps it alive. The courage to love begins with vulnerability. Love is not just about feeling deeply, it is about allowing someone to see us fully, our strengths, our flaws, our fears, and our insecurities. This kind of openness is terrifying because it means giving another person the power to hurt us. It means trusting that they will accept us as we are. Many people shy away from true intimacy because of the fear of rejection or heartbreak. But love without vulnerability is shallow. The deepest connections are formed when two people have the courage to be real with each other, even when it is uncomfortable. Commitment also demands bravery. It is easy to be in love when everything is new, exciting, and effortless. But true love is tested in difficult moments, when life becomes stressful, when conflicts arise, and when disappointments happen. It takes courage to stand by someone's side, not just when they are at their best, but also when they are struggling. Real love is not about perfection. It is about choosing to stay, to support, and to work through challenges together. One of the greatest fears people have in love is the fear of losing themselves. Many hesitate to fully commit because they worry about sacrificing their individuality or changing for another person. But love should not be about losing oneself. Rather, it should be about growing together while maintaining one's identity. It takes courage to strike that balance, to love deeply while staying true to who you are. Love should encourage personal growth, not stifle it, and that requires mutual respect and understanding. Forgiveness is another act of courage and love. No relationship is without its conflicts or mistakes. At some point, both partners will hurt each other, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The easiest response to pain is to shut down, walk away, or hold on to resentment. But love requires the strength to forgive, to communicate, and to heal. It takes courage to acknowledge when we are wrong, to apologize sincerely, and to rebuild trust when it is shaken. Forgiveness does not mean ignoring problems. It means facing them with a willingness to move forward together. Love also requires the courage to grow and evolve. People change over time, and relationships must adapt to those changes. This might mean facing difficult conversations, reevaluating priorities, or making sacrifices for the sake of the relationship. It takes courage to acknowledge when love needs to be nurtured, when adjustments need to be made, and when hard decisions must be faced. Stagnation is the enemy of love, and growth often requires stepping out of our comfort zones. Perhaps one of the hardest aspects of love is the courage to let go when necessary. Sometimes, despite deep feelings, a relationship is not meant to last. Love is not about clinging to something that no longer serves us, but about recognizing when it is time to move on. Letting go of love, whether due to incompatibility, personal growth, or circumstances beyond control, requires immense strength. It means trusting that even if a relationship ends, love itself does not disappear. It transforms, teaching us valuable lessons that shape who we become. In the end, love is not for the faint of heart. It is not just about passion or attraction, but about the willingness to embrace all that comes with it, the joy, the pain, the uncertainty, and the growth. Love demands bravery in ways that passion alone never could. It asks us to show up, to be honest, to fight for what matters, and to trust even when we are afraid. Passion may spark love, but only courage makes it last.